Pop some popcorn and get comfortable because you're going to need something to munch on with the tea we have for you today.
And dish about what was poppin' or not at this year's Oscars. We have a spectacular interview with USC SDA senior actor and dancer Hannah Marie Lloyd, one of USC's most talented Trojans.
Get comfortable because you're watching The Scoop.
Hello everyone, and welcome to The Scoop, the one and only place to get your entertainment news at USC. I'm Eileen Rebollo.
And I'm your other host, Elisa Rojas. So how was your week?
It's been good. It's been a little bit stressful. I feel like I'm still getting back into the groove, coming back from spring break. What about you?
Me too. Honestly, I feel like there's so much happening right now, so many projects, and I'm just trying to stay caught up.
Yes, definitely. Now, we know you heard plenty about the Oscars here on The Scoop over the past few weeks, but guys, it finally happened, and we have to talk about it because there were slabs, there were claps, and everything in between.
For real, and for those that said the Oscars fell off, I think they definitely heard you guys. That show was phenomenal from start to finish, but we have to address the elephant in the room. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock because of a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's struggle with her alopecia condition. Honestly, I was shocked. How did you react to that?
I was shocked as well. I was flabbergasted. If anything, I'm a little mad because I didn't get to see the slap in person.
Really?
Yes, I stepped away from the TV for just a minute, and when I came back, my group chats were popping off, Twitter was popping off. It was insane. But shortly after, Will Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor from his role in King Richard as the Williams sisters' dad, Richard. Talk about bad timing.
Right? So tragic. You could definitely see the irony and inner turmoil Smith was feeling during his acceptance speech. Let's take a look at it right now.
Richard Williams
Punctuation.
was a fierce defender of his family. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. Thank you for this honor. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Wow. What did you think about that?
That was heavy. I mean, I feel really bad for Will Smith. Obviously, I feel bad for Chris Rock because he was the one that got slapped too. But you could really see how vulnerable he was feeling. And I just think it's an unfortunate moment because, for Will Smith to finally win the award for the best award in all of Hollywood and for all of this to just be overtaken by the slap, I think it's just really unfortunate. But, as he said, love makes you do crazy things. And here at The Scoop, we don't condone violence, but Chris Rock definitely should have kept that one in the drafts. And although that was a tense situation, at least there was some comedic relief to come from it. Check out some of the memes that were trending from the night.
Okay, here we have the first one. Will Smith, I hope this email finds you well. Chris Rock, how it found me.
That is
So
so
true.
true, especially after spring break. Those emails were just smacking me in the face left and right. And the second one, Ross Lynch. Me not caring about the Oscars, but suddenly seeing that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on Twitter. That was me as well, once I came back to the living room and saw everything that was trending on Twitter.
Okay, here we have the third one. SpongeBob and Patrick, Will Smith's Oscar night in 2 photos. That one is accurate.
I don't know how people find these pictures. People must be SpongeBob experts. They just pull it out whenever they need it. And this one is perhaps my favorite one, the pursuit of slappiness. I mean, come on, Twitter is so wrong for this. They photoshopped Chris Rock's face on top of Jaden Smith. That's so out of pocket.
Those memes were hilarious. But on the real, Will Smith has issued a public apology to Chris Rock, and hopefully nothing like that ever happens again.
Yes, and even though Chris Rock has decided to not press charges, the drama is still not over yet. Will Smith is in jeopardy of losing his Oscar, and the Academy will be conducting a formal review over the next few weeks. So, what about you, Lisa? Do you think that his Oscar should be revoked?
I personally don't, just because I know he worked really hard on this movie, and it's amazing to see like the impact it's had on him and, everybody else. And so, although I don't think it was right that he, obviously slapped Chris Rock, I don't think he should get it taken away. What about you?
I completely agree. I think King Richard was such an incredible movie, and his performance was so touching that I think at this point the film kind of transcends Will Smith. I think the significance that the film holds, it's just way too much for them to remove it. But I do think that he's not going to be invited back to another Oscars.
On a much more positive note, there were so many stunning performances and great wins.
And shout out to the ladies, Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer for carrying the show and giving one of the most memorable Oscars with some of the most representation seen at the Academy Awards.
Yes, representation was the word of the night for sure. It was so cool to see Coda win Best Picture, a film with predominantly deaf actors, along with Troy Kotsur winning Best Supporting Actor in Coda. He is the first male deaf actor to win an Academy Award.
Can I just say, his speech made me tear up. I lost it completely. It was just so beautiful. And in addition, Jane Campion won for Best Director, making her the third woman to ever win in this category. And Ariana DeBose's win for Best Supporting Actress in The West Side Story, the first as both an Afro-Latina and a member of the LGBTQ+ community. Let's take a look at her acceptance speech.
Oh my God. Yikes. Okay. Oh my word. You know what? What is this? You know what? Now you see why that Anita says, I want to be in America, because even in this weary world that we live in, dreams do come true. Imagine this little girl in the back seat of a white Ford Focus. Look into her eyes. You see a queer, openly queer woman of color, an Afro-Latina, who found her strength in life through art. And that's what I believe we're here to celebrate. So to anybody who has ever questioned your identity, ever, or you find yourself living in the gray spaces, I promise you this, there is indeed a place for us. Thank you to the Academy, and thank you all.
So finally, this is the first Oscars with an all-black production team. Okay, Oscars. So Elisa, what did you think about this new and improved Oscars?
Honestly, I loved it. I thought it was really great, and I love to see all of the new changes and the representation especially. What about you?
I loved it completely. Did you have any thoughts on Ariana DeBose?
Oh my gosh, I loved her acceptance speech. I just think of like the young audiences who are finally going to be able to see some representation and how that must inspire them.
I completely agree.
Enough about the Oscars. That was so last week. Let's get into something that's happening this Sunday, the Grammys.
And I am so excited. Silk Sonic will be opening the show. I love them, and I can't wait. And I just love seeing all the talented music artists of the year being in the same room. I think it's so cool.
Right? I cannot wait to see who will win Album of the Year. Some of the big nominees are Justin Bieber for Justice, Doja Cat for Planet Her, Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett for Love for Sale, Kanye West for Donda, and Lil Nas X for Montreal.
I love Lil Nas X. I mean, he cracks me up all the time on Twitter. And I heard that he's performing at the Grammys too, along with Olivia Rodrigo, Jack Harlow, and Billie Eilish. And did you hear Kanye has been banned from this year's show? Talk about drama.
Oh my gosh, I did hear about that. It's so crazy. What do you think?
I don't agree with the decision to ban him. No, because I know that even though he's been in the public for his dispute with Kim Kardashian and everything, I think he's an artist and that should be kept separate.
Wow, there's so much drama going on this award season. And speaking of drama, USC School of Dramatic Arts has been making a killing this semester.
SDA puts on several shows throughout the year, and a couple months ago, they put on a major production. The show was Shakespeare's As You Like It. Let's take a look at what goes into putting on a show like that.
Come with me for a day in the life performance edition. First things first, when I get into the theater, I sign in, and then I head downstairs to our dressing rooms. We have an amazing group of crew backstage that help us get ready. We all have our own assigned seats at the makeup mirrors. Here's mine, with our names and character names on them. And then we get ready for the top of show. Here I am on stage in the pre-show. And then we start Act 1. Here I am running backstage for my quick change in the middle. I go from a court lord to a lady in the forest. Now here I am with my partner, Emily May. We are running on stage getting ready to sing our ballad in the middle of the show. And then we get to take a break and hang out with our friends. And my favorite part is the bows. Everyone has their own dance moves they get to do, and it's a great way to end the day.
Wow, that was so great. We're going to take a short break, but stay tuned to see what's going on around campus at USC. Make sure to come back for a one-on-one talk with Hannah Marie Lloyd.
Feeling overwhelmed by school? Homework assignments keep piling up? Crippled by existential despair? Caffeine not cutting it? Well, then I have a solution for you. Procrastination.
Wow, so how does it work?
Simply take your work and stop doing it. Play video games. Go on your phone. Endless possibilities.
Boy, howdy, do I feel relaxed. Thanks, procrastination.
Public service announcement from the United States government. There may be goblins hiding in your house. If your home security isn't good enough, goblins could get into your house so they can find easy, accessible food. Do you really want goblin ectoplasm all over your beautiful home? What about the new sheets you just got? Better be careful. Studies have shown that if you have a goblin infestation in your house, you should round all of them up, put them in a pot, and bake them in the oven at 400 degrees.
Hey Trojans, we have some great events coming up on this week's edition of Campus Events from April 1st to April 5th. Tomorrow on April 1st, we have Gear Fest in McCarthy Quad. This is a premier event dedicated to celebrating Black art with music, food, and vendors. Previous performers included Brent Faiyaz, Janae Aiko, and Bruno Mars, in addition to other artists from USC. April 2nd will begin the weekend-long performances of SCA's mainstream production of A Chorus Line. In addition, we have the annual competition of Songfest at Bovard Stadium, where student organizations will battle it out to see who will be crowned Songfest champions. And for those looking for a little more tame event on campus, check out USC Marshall's Financial Literacy Festival happening on April 5th in McCarthy Quad. This is an event aiming to encourage students' personal financial literacy. That's all for this week's edition of Campus Events. Tune in next week to check out all of the latest functions happening on campus.
The prompt. Welcome back to The Scoop. Remember that fun TikTok we saw earlier? Welcome back to The Scoop. Remember that fun TikTok we saw earlier of the SDA backstage show? Well, here I'm sitting with the star SDA singer and actor and dancer, Hannah Marie Lloyd. Hi, Hannah. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Hannah, you are an actor and a dancer. When did you first start tapping into these talents of yours?
Oh my gosh. Well, I started in ballet when I was about 2 years old, and then just loved to dance. And I did my first musical in the 3rd grade, and it was like, no brainer. This is something I have to do. It was something I loved to be a part of. I loved the atmosphere. I loved being backstage. I loved being part of a big production, and that just kept coming up all throughout my life. I just kept finding myself in positions of performing, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was always kind of wanting to be an actor, wanting to be a performer, and it's led me to here now.
Yes. So, I mean, Clearly, based on your TikTok, you are so talented. I saw some of your pictures as well. I mean, your pictures are incredible of you dancing.
Thank you.
Do you tap into any other kinds of art forms?
A little bit. In high school, I explored drawing and painting. I loved that. Just about anything artistic. I play the piano. That's always been something that has just like made my life so much more fulfilled. I love music, and it's similar to acting and performing, and in a way that it's like self-fulfilling. I find a lot of comfort and a lot of relief and enjoyment in playing the piano.
Yeah, I mean, you could really do it all. Yeah. And we saw on your TikTok how chaotic you can get backstage. So what is that like for you?
Oh my gosh. It's like a fun chaos, if that makes any sense, because everyone has their place they need to be. This is what comes A, B, C, D, and it's all planned out just like any sort of production, but it's live. And so anything can happen at any point, and you train and you practice and you try to make it as perfect as possible, but you never know. Sometimes things go a little differently than planned, and you have to be able to think on your feet. Okay, how do I get to where I need to go right now? My costume change didn't go right. Okay, maybe I need to help move this on stage. It's all thinking on your feet, being the best teammate that you can for not only yourself, but everyone else around you as well. So it can be difficult at times, but it's rewarding and fulfilling being part of that team ensemble.
Mm-hmm. I have a short little question. So how quick do those changes really have to be?
They can be pretty quick. For As You Like It, I think I had roughly maybe like 10 minutes to change out of a suit and then change into hoop skirt, bodice, corset. I mean, like, you're running down the stairs and you're like, I'm unbuttoning everything as I run, and you pass people as you're going by and you're like, hi, good job, just keep going. And sometimes it can be really quick, and even sometimes you'll have off stage changes where you just have to go into a little corner and have everything preset there, and you have everyone helping you. Again, it's that team aspect that you always have to be ready for.
Yeah, it seems really thrilling. And earlier you mentioned the word ensemble, and you are also an intern for Ensemble Studio LA. What kind of work does that consist of? Are you working on any projects right now?
Yeah, about a month ago, I was helping work on the Hecuba project, which was actually partnered with a group here called the Warrior Bards at USC, and we help veterans put forward art pieces, working through the difficulties of having served and how that is so like an amazing sacrifice, and we want to give back and use art to help create a healing process for them in a way. So I worked on the Ajax project with them last semester, and then this semester working on the Hecuba project, and the production team has been really cool.
That sounds so amazing. Yes. So I want to ask you, what would you say is the most rewarding or exhilarating part about being a part of the theater and being on stage?
It's one of those things where you get that like feeling in your gut of like, this is where I belong. And you look around and you see everyone else's faces, and hopefully everyone else feels the exact same way. And it's a major bonding experience that you're going to have with people for a very long time, even after the show is done, even after, your tech week is up where everyone's like pulling their hair out, running all over the place. It's so fulfilling to do the hard work and do the fun work, and then step out on stage and just listen to people laugh, people cry, people be excited to watch the work that you've put into it. That's probably the most fulfilling. You get to be fulfilled not only on the stage, but everyone in the audience is fulfilled by it as well, and that's just awesome.
Yes. And so you are a senior. That means you're going to be graduating soon.
Yep.
Congratulations. What are your plans after you leave USC?
Well, I'm definitely not leaving SC. I think the Trojan Network is going to be with me for a very long time, but I'm staying in the LA area, and I'm just going to start auditioning and working and trying to make everything happen in life that I want it to be.
Is theater something that you want to continue, or do you want to tap into film?
Definitely. I originally came to School of Dramatic Arts wanting to just pursue theater, and then I kind of discovered along my school journey that I really enjoyed film and TV and even voiceover. So because of this experience, I have so many new avenues and openings and opportunities that I'm really looking forward to explore.
So tell me about doing voiceover work. How did you learn about that? Or how did you become involved in that?
There's a class in the School of Dramatic Arts, and I loved it. I mean, I remember doing orientation for when it's like, oh, you're accepted, congratulations. And then you come and you get to try out a couple classes and, work on your schedule. And I stepped into that room and was like, oh, this is cool. And I remember Phil Allen, who's in charge of the class, and that was a dear friend of mine. He said, anybody want to get up and try it? And I was just like, me. I just like raised my hand. I was like, I just didn't know what it was, but I just wanted to jump into the booth and just see what it was like. And from there, I was like, this is so cool. And it's all about the voice. It's all about that sound. And you can be in the booth in your pajamas, you can be in there in a full-length gown, and it doesn't even matter. It's just whatever that sound is. It's very free and expressive and creative. And so I took the class last semester after COVID and the pandemic and everything, and I was so excited to finally be able to get into this class and be in person, and it's been really fulfilling.
It seems like a different change than being on stage, like you said, you don't have to dress up, you just go and use your voice. Would you say that it might be more challenging?
Yeah, in some ways, because you put on those headphones and they can adjust things, obviously, but it's just your voice. All you hear is the sound of your own voice. You hear all the specific choices that you're making and everything as it's like raw coming out. And it's a little startling at first, and then once you do it a couple times, you're like, oh, hopefully I like the sound of my voice, or I like what the choices that I'm making, I like what I'm doing, and you get used to it, kind of.
So we actually have a video, if you want to play it. You want to take a look at the video?
Come with me for a day in the life performance edition. First things first, when I get into the theater, I sign in, and then I head downstairs to our dressing rooms. We have an amazing group of crew backstage that help us get ready. We all have our own assigned seats at the makeup mirrors. Here's mine, with our names and character names on them. And then we get ready for the top of show. Here I am on stage in the pre-show. And then we start Act 1. Here I am running backstage for my quick change in the middle. I go from a court lord to a lady in the forest. Now here I am with my partner, Emily May. We are running on stage getting ready to sing our ballad in the middle of the show. And then we get to take a break and hang out with our friends. And my favorite part is the bows. Everyone has their own dance move they get to do, and it's a great way to end the day.
So Hannah, you told me that you've actually worked with Kate Burton. What was that like?
Oh, kind of a dream come true. I mean, she is one of the most amazing people I think I've ever met. Very life-changing, and I say that full, genuine, kind, compassionate, a brilliant teacher, cares absolutely 100% about her students, and we'll just take you out to coffee after class and say, okay, tell me what's going on. Tell me how I can help you. Like, is this working for you? How is this process? Do you need me to provide you with anything? Just really the model of what a professor, a teacher, a mentor should be. And working with her in As You Like It, you get to see a professional work, and it was amazing.
Did you ever get starstruck?
Oh, totally. First day of class, I remember last semester when I first had her Shakespeare 1 class. I looked at my course list and just kind of went through looking at the professors I had and was like, oh, why do I recognize this name? And then I looked it up and I went, oh my gosh. It was really exciting. I still get starstruck. I mean, I think she's so down to earth and real that sometimes you can forget how accomplished her career is. And then she will do something in the middle of class to make you be like, oh, yeah, that's real.
So for those who don't know, would you mind explaining who Kate Burton is?
Yes, of course. Kate Burton is an actress. She's the daughter of Richard Burton, an amazing film actor and theater actor, one of the greats of Shakespeare, and stepdaughter of Elizabeth Taylor. So those are some pretty big names coming. The first day in class, I mean, she was just like, here's this, here's my life, here's my dad, here's my stepmom. And everyone's just like, yeah, this is cool.
You have to keep your composure.
You got to keep your composure. You're like, I am professional. I'm not a starstruck person. Totally am a starstruck person. But yeah, it's really cool to then hear her talk about in class. Sometimes she'll be like, you know, while I was on Grey's Anatomy, blah, 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 blah. While I was filming this film, you know, she just loves to share her experiences about the amazing career that she's had. And even we'll talk about current things going on. And it's a very honoring experience, I guess to say.
Yeah. And so I looked through your TikTok page, and you are quite the content creator. So do you make any other content about, like, other TikTok content?
Kind of. I remember the whole content creation really started because of COVID. And I was sitting at home and I thought, I need to make something. What can I do? And it started with me making recordings of my piano playing, because I was like, okay, I want to put myself out there, but it's a little scary, it's a little vulnerable. Okay, what's something that I can just focus on the art? And it turned into piano. And then as my confidence kind of grew and I got a little bit of a really positive feedback from a lot of my friends and family, I just started to make videos about myself and my day or the experience that I was having. It kind of has transformed into something I didn't quite initially foresee happening, but I mean, I just made a plan and I started rolling with it.
Yeah. And so for anyone who wants to become an MFA actor, do you have any words of inspiration for them now that you've been in the program? It's your last year, you're about to graduate.
Yeah. Working with the MFA students during As You Like It was really fun. I mean, the first day we all met each other, it was so natural and easy, and everyone walked up to each other, you know, COVID shook hands and just greeted each other and were like, hi, how are you? Who are you? I want to get to know you, which was not shocking at all, but you know, when you're walking into a program where you've got BA students and MFA students, you never know, especially with people you haven't met. And it was really a wonderful surprise to have such a welcoming, warming environment where everyone wanted to work together.
Absolutely. Well, this has been absolutely great, Hannah. Thank you so much for joining me, and you know, congratulations once again on your graduation.
Thank you.
So that's all we have for you today. Thank you, Hannah. We'll be back next Thursday, same time, same place. This is The Scoop. Fight on, Trojans.